are in a leadership role. Maybe you are a woman in leadership. Maybe you are transitioning into a different role as a leader, and you're worried about speaking up for yourself. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you one brief insight that will happen when you speak up for yourself. Now, if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta, and this channel heavily focuses in on advanced communication skills and strategies to help you speak more confidently and concisely under pressure as a leader. If you're at a place in your career where you know you have to do a little bit more than what you've done in the past, I guarantee you will learn a lot of information from this channel. Now, a lot of times, and let me know in the comments below if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been in a situation as a leader where you were potentially afraid of speaking up? Maybe you were worried, you were scared. Well, let me share with you something. The reason a lot of times people, leaders, do not speak up for themselves, and sometimes this happens with women in leadership, but it can also happen with men in leadership as well, is that they are simply just afraid of the consequences of them speaking up. Have you ever noticed how fear, being afraid of something, can be a huge, huge determining factor in terms of whether you do something or not? Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been afraid to speak up? This situation is so common that majority of leaders at some point in their career have been through this. They have been through a part or an aspect of their lives where they said, I just don't want to speak up. This is a little bit more of a challenging situation. I don't want to deal with it. Well, let me share with you what happens when you do decide that you want to actually speak up for yourself. As I mentioned, fear is a huge driver, right? Fear is something that can cause people to not take a leap on their goals, not invest in themselves. All kinds of things can happen when fear is in the way. But the time when you are at a point where you decide to speak up for yourself, it triggers something psychologically in your mind that empowers you and provides you with the confidence that you need to speak up in other situations. Now, before I go into this insight a bit more, I want to say hello to those of you watching the live today. I appreciate you being here. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today. And have you ever felt a little bit afraid to speak up as a woman in leadership, as a man in leadership? Put in the comments below. All right, I want to say hello to Andrija. Hello. We have, let's see, I want to say, I'm driving, so I'm sorry. I want to say Igor Boss. Igor Boss. I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I hope I said your name correctly. Says, hello, how are you? I'm doing fantastically well. Let me know what part of the world you all are joining from today. As I mentioned, fear is a huge driving factor in terms of why people tend not to speak up for themselves. Most of the time, especially as leaders, we are really thinking about the consequences of our actions. And if we speak up for ourselves, if we speak up for maybe we are trying to have an increase in our salaries, increase in visibility, or maybe be added to a different project, we just are afraid of what to say. We don't know how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, or we may just be just afraid of what's going to happen if I say this. How are people going to think of me when I say this? All of these scenarios I share with you and many more are really the reasons why people don't speak up for themselves. But when you take that time to subscribe to my channel, of course, and learn how to communicate under pressure when you need to speak up for yourself, it will be more of a situation where you do not have to worry about it as much because you already have developed the skills that you need to be able to communicate under pressure. When you speak up for yourself, as I mentioned, there is a psychological trigger that happens that allows you to be able to build more confidence, because people ask me all the time, how can I advocate for myself? How can I speak up for myself as a leader? And oftentimes it comes down to confidence. But I do want to say, on YouTube, people sometimes they feel confidence is this very complex term that is hard to obtain. But confidence comes from these very small interactions that sometimes we think are very meaningless, that build our confidence. So when you're at a point where you need to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself, this is one of those examples. Even though it may be minor, you could be just speaking up for yourself about setting a boundary, you need to leave at a certain time, or etc. But every single time you take a moment to speak up for yourself and build yourself up, it allows you to start to develop that level of confidence you need. So when you have those larger situations to come up, that you have been empowered to do so. It will completely change your life. It will change your life tremendously. I've talked about this a lot on the channel. And if you are new to me or one of my amazing subscribers, I appreciate you and welcome back. Don't be the person that doesn't speak up for yourself out of fear because you're afraid of what's going to happen. You're afraid of how people are going to think about you or what they're going to say about you. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been in a situation where you were just completely afraid to speak up because you didn't know what was going to happen to you? You was afraid. Another insight I want to share with you. So I've already shared with you that when you speak up for yourself, there is a psychological, a neurological change that happens to you that allows you to be more confident in how you conduct yourself as a woman in leadership or as a man in leadership. That's one part of it. The other part of it that I want to share with you that is really important for you to consider, when you're thinking about speaking up for yourself, is that when you speak up for yourself, you place yourself in a position, in a very strong position to speak up for yourself again and again and again. A lot of times people wonder, well, how do you communicate under pressure? How does this happen? A lot of it comes down to how you are communicating. And if you can speak up for yourself once, guess what? You can speak up for yourself a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. Sometimes you may need help understanding how to do that. That's why you reach out to me and work with me directly at exciteexcellence.org if you're a woman in leadership. But this is what you can do. It will help you tremendously. Let me go to the chat. We have Tisha Poolable, hope you're doing well today. And we have Dylan9200. Hello, welcome, welcome. Hope y'all doing well today. Let me know if you've ever struggled with speaking up. I shared with you a couple insights. You will build more confidence when you speak up for yourself. You will develop the skills that you need to know how to continue to speak up for yourself in situation after situation after situation. Another insight to consider when you're trying to speak up for yourself that changes within you is that you start to understand how to develop your executive presence. Now, I talk about executive presence a lot on this channel. There's a ton of videos here on my live tab that talk about executive presence. I have a playlist, I believe, that talks about executive presence. So if you're new, take some time to look at my playlist. I have a lot of information there. But when you're trying to build an executive presence, that is basically your ability to influence and impact other people as a leader. Being able to speak up for yourself is something that many people struggle with. Therefore, if you can become very good at speaking up for yourself, I guarantee you are going to start developing your executive presence. I will be live later this evening. If there's any other topics you all want to learn more about, feel free to let me know. Send me a comment on any of my videos and I will respond to your comment. If I believe that it needs more of an in-depth dive, then I will do a video and give you a shout out in the video as well and talk about how I can help you with whatever challenge you're dealing with. Please come to me with the hard situations. I deal with the hard situations, the complex situations that happen to us as leaders. So I'm here to support you any way that I can. And feel free to like this video and subscribe and share it with someone you know is trying to enhance how they're communicating as a leader because they are missing out on a lot of different opportunities. Action prevent you from advocating for yourself. If you don't speak up for yourself, what is it going to cost you if you do not speak up? Remember that. That's executive coaching question. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.